When your opponent misses 6 match darts against you, you've got to take advantage, and he did. Now he's got a crack at Mr. Veenstra, whose hairstyle hasn't changed in those 6 years.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First set, first leg. It's Laszlo to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it's Veenstra's 6th consecutive World Championship appearance. His best is that run to the last 4 on debut 6 years ago. Also had a quarter-final run here in 2018. And when people have spoken about potential winners, I haven't heard his name mentioned that much until they're sort of looking through the programme. Oh, Richard Veenstra, he's got a chance.
85.
He always plays quite well. He's kind of gone under the radar a little, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's almost a forgotten man. I remember I tipped him back in 2017. That didn't go so well. Lost to Danny Noppert that year. And Danny Noppert's gone on to do pretty well.
96.
If you're wondering why it's Flyers rather than Flyer, it's actually a nod
55.
to the hockey team that he supports, the ice hockey club in Heerenveen in the Netherlands.
As long as it's not the Philadelphia Flyers. Otherwise, me and him are going to have a chat.
60.
He's safe.
I'm glad you cleared that up, Murph.
And I think the Kadar nickname requires no real explanation.
100.
Is he a teacher by chance?
I think it's safe to say that's the reason.
Well, if he hits a really good match-winning shot, we'll have to say, Kadar!
140.
You're not expecting him to hit one, are you? Because you've already done it. You've ruined the moment for yourself, Paul.
Absolutely.
But he might, because he did have a brilliant set. The second set
100.
in his victory
That's
over
what you
Andreas
require,
Harrison. He hit 104, 135 and 96. And now he wants 145. And it could be the Kadar.
125.
Threatened it.
He's playing all right
Richard,
in
you
this first
require
leg, that's for sure.
161.
Veenstra for a break. Needed the 161. So Laszlo comes back for double 10.
46.
For a strong first leg.
Laszlo, you require 20. Game shot on the
Very
first
strong
leg.
start.
Laszlo Kadar. Second leg, it's Richard to throw first.
Laszlo Kadar takes the lead against a much more experienced player on this stage.
137.
One of the things that I want to highlight for people watching our coverage around the world is that you might not know a great deal about Laszlo Kadar, but he came on my radar in 2021
100.
at the Apatin Open in Serbia. And he beat a guy called Oliver Ferenc in the final of that Apatin Open.
58.
By 6 legs to 5. And he came on my radar because Oliver Ferenc has played here before. And that event in the Apatin Open has been won by Boris Kruchma before, who is an absolutely
59.
huge dart player in more ways than one in that part of the world. So I thought if Kadar can win that Open and maybe go on to have more success
99.
in that area of the world, then we should take notice. And since then, he has won a ranking title, so this guy can play.
Yeah, he certainly can, and he's now got the experience of not just playing on the stage,
60.
but winning on the stage. And we've already seen a few players look much more comfortable in the second match than they did in their first. Martin Adams in commentary has been saying that it's not just about the debut.
126.
The threat of that short format, that cutthroat format of best of 3 sets, and now they've got a little bit of time to feel like they can settle into a match.
Yeah, I think that last match
42.
between Ryan and Corinne
Richard, you
actually does
require
prove
81.
that. Because if that went to best of 5, then I think we would have seen even more from those players. Double 16
Game
for Richard,
shot on the
and
second
that
leg.
is typically
Richard
Veenstra,
Veenstra,
fast,
third leg, it's
furious,
Laszlo to
and
throw
accurate.
first.
1-1.
Really good stuff from Veenstra, who himself has had
41.
fabulous runs in big tournaments, runner-up in both the Zydedyne Masters and the BDO World Trophy, losing to Glenn Durrant in the former in 2018 and Jim Williams in the latter in 2019.
He has lost in big tournaments within this system. He's also won
77.
the Dutch Open, which, as everybody knows within the game of darts, that deserves a round of applause because that is really hard to win.
140.
Yeah, it's one of a couple of handfuls of WDF ranking titles that he has to his name. Beat the Scotsman Ryan
40.
Hogarth in the final of that in 2019. He won a couple of ranking titles last year. One in Denmark and the Italian Grandmasters as well. He beat the man who's actually 65. Now the world #1 on the WDF rankings, James Hurrell, to win that one.
I've seen James Hurrell today having a practice in the back room, getting himself ready for the start of his
58.
challenge. Here's
Richard
JC,
Require,
Jared Cole,
156.
loving life. Why not?
Well, he took this out in his match. Veenstra
100.
can't match Jared Cole. How do you reflect, Paul, on the performances we've seen so far today?
Very good,
Richard,
actually. I think there has been
56.
a slight raise in standard, but definitely an intensity. Double top for Richard.
16.
And intensity follows this guy around. He's what I call an Olympian non-blinker. When he stares at that board, he doesn't blink. He stares through it. Intensity. But today has been really
100.
enjoyable. A great day's dart.
Richard, you require 40.
To shuffle across ever so slightly. Might just be obscuring some of the bed. Well, you said intense. Now he wants to be in tens.
20.
But he couldn't manage it, and Kadar could pull off one of those
Laszlo, you require
cookie finishes he was
105.
producing against Harrison.
He wanted to try and leave a two-darter with his last dart in the previous visit. He couldn't do it. 86 left. He's not going to take this either.
97.
Player that wears a gold bracelet on his right wrist. I
Richard, you
don't know how
require
people do that.
20.
It's constantly going up and down your arm. This game is going up and down so far,
Game
but it is
shot on the
2-1
third
to
leg.
Flyers
Richard
in the
Veenstra.
first set.
Fourth leg, it's Richard to throw first.
The breaker throw
Game on.
that he needed after losing the ball in the practice room.
I've got a question for you, Murph, about the location of where Kadar is from, because
96.
Hungary, Romania, Serbia, Croatia, that kind of geographical location of Europe right now is starting to deliver
60.
something, isn't it? Because we have had some decent players from that part of the world over the last few years. I've talked about Boris Kruchma and Oliver Ferenc. What about Nando Bezek from
100.
Hungary as well? These are good players, but
Cheeky Nando.
we need someone to go a little bit further, don't we? We need someone to do something really, really interesting.
Yeah, and I think that they are getting more opportunities.
140.
Of course, the WDF have done everything they can to make this as international a field for a world championship as they possibly can.
Well, there's more WDF events in that part of the world than ever
58.
before, and let's not forget that things like the World Cup has been hosted in Romania.
Yeah, and the PTC have gone to Hungary recently as well.
58.
For a European Tour event.
There's such a huge following for the game in that area, and it's only going to get bigger the more that people from that area have success in places like this.
But no
60.
doubt about the popularity of darts in the Netherlands.
Well, we also have to talk about the fact that Veronica Ihas in the women's draw is still alive, and she's got a fair level of intensity, and the
99.
more success she has, the more people in that area of the world will want to play darts from the female side as well.
Well, absolutely. Kadar has worked his way down to a finish.
60.
And the fact
Laszlo,
that
you require
Veenstra's only managed
144.
60 has actually probably made him a slight favourite to win this leg.
Do we dare say it?
84.
127 in game.
Richard, you require
Well, it would be 127
127
and set for Richard Veenstra. But it's not going to happen, so Kadar could find himself
39.
level and throwing for the set.
Laszlo, you require 60.
No hanging around, is he? Double 10.
50.
Very close. Veenstra looking for two little snowmen.
Richard, you require
Could be on the ball,
88.
could be on double 14, somewhere in between. Double 14 for the set. Sevens.
74.
Not really close.
Laszlo, you require 10.
There's a couple of missed darts to take the set. Can Laszlo take advantage?
8.
Kadar can't.
Richard, you
doing this
require
spot?
14.
He's looking south, so he's going straight for it. Got to stay south for double two.
Game
it's there,
shot in the first
and the set is won by
Richard
Flyers.
Veenstra.
Flyers off to a Flarison, but it could really be uphill going from here. Just treating himself to a little snack. I'm not sure where it came from, but what does he have to do, Paul, to get his teeth into Veenstra in this match?
Well, that may be the key. Maybe feeling a little flat.
Second set,
Just
first
for
leg. It's
all of our
Richard to throw
viewers,
first.
you might think,
Game
well,
on.
surely he's not allowed to eat on stage. But this is something that some players like Raymond van Barneveld and others have done over the last few years.
59.
When they're just about to go into a long match, they'll get something sugary just to fire them up.
I'm not sure it's happened in the same manner before, though, just a hand appearing from below the stage, straight into the mouth of the player.
No, I wouldn't condone that, really.
And then
Usually...
and then a pat on the head saying, "Good boy," swiftly followed.
140.
Really?
Never seen the like.
Oh, only in darts.
100.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of players have maybe a bit of a gummy sweet or maybe a boiled sweet up there just to have a little bit of slow release sugar, just to give yourself that little
58.
kick. That's fine. Got to stay well hydrated on this stage. It gets really hot up there if you're on that stage for about an hour. But so far tonight, Murph, both games have been quite
41.
swift.
Well, that's who handed the treat.
How's your Romanian?
Yeah, I'm not
100.
quite sure what it said.
I could have said anything.
It might just been good boy.
That's exactly what we're
81.
going to say if he hits the next double.
Richard, you require
She can't take the
144.
pressure. Watching is horrible. At least when you're on the stage, you've got control of what you do. Veenstra looking to take control of the match in set number 2. 2-0 up. He could win this match in this session, of course.
Yeah, Laszlo's partner, and it is very difficult, isn't it, to watch on your loved ones. You have no control over what happens.
Richard, you require
living
66.
and breathing every dart. She'll be hoping that this double 18 isn't found.
Game shot on
But
the
she
first
doesn't get her
leg.
wish.
Richard Veenstra.
And the Veenstra spell continues.
Second leg,
That's
it's
now
Laszlo to throw first.
4 legs on the spin for the Dutchman.
This is what he does when he's in the mood. He's a somewhat enigmatic player,
57.
Richard Veenstra. He's always been known that way, the 9th seed. When he's on, he's rather delightful. But on a couple of occasions on this stage, he has gone missing.
140.
We did speak to him before the match, and he's never played against Kadar before.
100.
I did say he was well aware of his capabilities. Again, no idea what's been said, but I'm sure it's very complimentary.
60.
Hope so. Plenty of support here for Richard as well. I do believe his wife Monique is here as well. Follows him everywhere.
58.
Kadar, who owns 2 citizenships.
97.
One for Hungary, one for Romania, but he chose to play under the flag of Romania. I'm quite surprised by that, considering he's got the name Laszlo. One of the national arenas in
100.
Hungary is called the Pap Laszlo Arena.
A great darting from Veenstra.
85.
There is
Monique. Took the words right out of my mouth, Murph.
It doesn't look as
100.
intense as his
Richard, you
opponent's
require
partner.
190.
Not really much stress going on in that quarter of the building.
Yeah, and why would they be? One set up, one leg up. I don't know what that was, though.
I think that might have slipped out of his hand.
45.
He has this technique, Veenstra,
you
where
require
the dart
86.
spins in his fingers as he throws it, and if he gets it wrong, it does shoot out of the cannon. That's 12 scored. That's another 14.
46.
And that leaves him on top, so Veenstra can go within one
Richard,
leg
you
here
require
of
74.
winning set 2.
He may look at treble 14 himself. He does now 20 for double 20.
54.
Just brushed the southern wire.
Laszlo, you require
Kadar wants
40.
the same target. Same outcome, double 10. Massive, massive moment.
20.
And he's further away, and he's falling further away in the match.
Richard, you require
I
20.
don't think this is going to be missed.
Game shot on the second leg.
And it wasn't. Double
Richard
10 is
Veenstra.
found. 2-0 Veenstra. And the
Third
problem
leg,
that
it's Richard to throw
Kadar had
first.
in his first game
Game on.
was that he allowed his opponent to get a lead. He was fortunate that it was best of 3 sets, and he was able to come back from an early deficit.
59.
But if this deficit is 2 sets to 0 against someone with experience on this stage, it's a very different matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
29.
Against Andreas Harrison, modelled on Dirty Harry. There is one match left this evening
100.
here at the Lakeside, and I'm just wondering if the Punk is feeling lucky. Johnny Haynes taking on Brian Raman.
As far as segues go, that
57.
was genius. Well done, Mr. Murphy. That was brilliant.
Can I go now?
You've peaked, mate. You've peaked.
43.
Well, Veenstra will be hoping he hasn't peaked, but he won't be happy leaving 299. Nobody likes that number. Even when you've got a 116-point gap, and
40.
that has not been bridged.
Yeah, normally you'd start on treble 19 to leave a finish, but with Kadar so far away,
135.
there's no real value in starting chasing around the board.
Yeah, that's very true. Even that treble 5 has been quite kind. It's left him a finish. Doesn't need to go for it.
105.
Yes, the Riddler's
Richard, you
coming.
require
There's Team Belgium,
164.
and there is the Riddler.
It's a little relaxed, isn't it, just before the game?
Oh, he's a chilled character, as Brian Raman. Doesn't take anything too seriously.
126.
I think that might change in about half an hour if this one's going to go quick.
Well, the 1-2-6 is left, a dodgy double.
60.
Double
Richard, you
19,
require
if he
38.
chooses to go for it, he can split. He tries to split, but he's made a mess of that. 13 off for 25, and only just in the 9.
22.
And when you see darts like that, you never really fancy the double, do you?
I didn't really feel confident about that visit when he hit the single 13 going for the 6. But all is not lost. Set 2
Richard,
in the
you
bag.
require 16.
He finds double 8. Oh, that's horrible.
8.
The dart that he threw second there
Laszlo, you require
just
110.
covered everything. 92 left for Kadar, and he's not going to get a shot to save the set, but Flyers is coming
39.
back for double 4, and you fancy, now that the pressure's on
Richard,
a little bit more, that this will
require
go.
8. Game shot on the
And the
second
Dutchman
set.
doubles up
Richard
a
Veenstra.
2-set lead for Richard Veenstra. And he's reeled off 6 successive legs here.
Third set, first leg. It's Laszlo to throw
Against
first.
Laszlo,
Game on.
Kadar, who will be feeling low right now.
Were you commentating on the Kevin Luke game last night? The guy from America.
82.
Yes, I was, yeah.
Well, I think he wins the prize for best walk-on song this week so far. Real American. The walk-on song
60.
of Hulk Hogan. I've just seen him in the crowd, and he's wearing a Hulkamania t-shirt. So, no prizes for guessing who he's getting his inspiration from, but he's out of the tournament, so it didn't work that well.
140.
I apologise in advance, Paul, but I can't resist this. It's a fitting walk-on song for him, Real American. It's just a shame when you were playing, there wasn't one called Not Real Australian.
137.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that.
Yeah, he was beaten by the Muffin Man. Kevin
And
Luke.
he's a real Muffin Man.
Absolutely. And he turned up with the goods.
Not enough, though.
It wasn't Steve Hine, was it, at the start of the set,
100.
who shoved a muffin into Kadar's mouth?
Well, if it was a muffin, I think Kadar might give him it back, because it hasn't worked.
42.
Yeah, he's looking a very different figure to the one at the end of that match against Andreas Harrison right now.
99. Laszlo,
Maybe a
you
bridge
require
too far, this one.
138.
If there is to be some sort of comeback, you might have to start here. Hello, double 12.
114.
That was a fine try from Laszlo.
Richard, you require 105.
Had that really good spell of big finishers. But double top.
85.
Snatched away the chance to throw at that double
Laszlo,
12
you
again.
require 24.
Kadar can stop the rot here. He's lost the last 6 legs.
Game
And he
shot on
finds
the
the
first
double.
leg. Laszlo Kadar
Takes the lead in
Second
set
leg, it's
3.
Richard to throw first.
Ah, Warren boy. He's in the building. The champ.
100.
What's occurred then?
Winner at the O2. Wayne Warren.
140.
And Warren Arrowsmith he is.
You're relentless. Yeah, it's really nice to see Wazzer actually. He's a really nice bloke. Superb dart player.
180.
And he has got some support here, I can tell you that. Now, Richard Veenstra has just found himself a maximum to give himself a little
81.
cushion here in leg 2.
Yeah, first of the match, but Kadar to get a set on the board just needs to keep holding his throw.
100.
Just thinking back to what you were saying about his hockey
96.
team being called Flyers.
Richard, you require
That means my
121.
darting nickname should have been Penguins. Double 18.
85.
Almost a slap shot into the back of the net there from Veenstra.
That's where I get most of my jokes, Paul. Penguins.
95.
Well, inside of the
Richard,
back.
you require 36.
Back for that double. Now double 9.
Game shot on the
Finds it to
second
level
leg.
up.
Richard Veenstra. Third leg, it's Laszlo to
Jackie the
throw
Hat.
first.
Loving this performance. He's been here all day. He's definitely enthusiastic as ever. Great to see him back here.
44.
I really hope that I, at his age, have got that kind of enthusiasm for anything. The last percentages aren't great in this match, but they're good enough for
99.
Veenstra right now.
Yeah, Laszlo Kadar. That was getting him out of trouble in the previous match, wasn't it? He's missed 10 darts at double. However, Veenstra just getting so many more
60.
opportunities. He's missed 20.
$93.
But, and we do keep repeating it, but it is a very pertinent point. If he holds throw throughout this set, all of a
60.
sudden the lead is cut in half. Now, he lost 6 legs on the spin, would have been 6-1 down in a match play, a legs match.
99.
It's just a very different thing, isn't it? And it brings a very different mentality.
Absolutely. And you have to play it that way as well. We've talked at length, you and I, about who's good at set play and who isn't. We talked about someone like
97.
James Wade, who hasn't won a world title. In straight start, set play, he's just not excelled. But you get him in match play, and he's a
100.
very different animal.
And also, as a player, you have to remember that when you are in a spell of losing leg after leg after leg, you have to try and get it into your head that actually it's not as bad as it could be because it is a set play format.
Let's say you lose
60.
3 sets to 0, and you think,
Richard,
oh,
you
you've got
require
absolutely
110.
gubbed there. But you could have lost 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, and in legs it's 9-6. Great from Veenstra.
86.
Kadar can't finish 180.
Yeah, and that prospect of keeping hold of his throw throughout the set is looking less likely now.
100.
Double 12 for the Dutch dartist.
Richard, you require 24.
2 6s.
Game shot on the
All
third
too
leg.
predictable for
Richard
the Dutchman,
Veenstra.
who was making light work of the Romanian, and Priscilla Steenbergen can't
Fourth
watch
leg,
on.
it's Richard to throw first. Game on.
And, well, she probably can watch on. She's from Holland, isn't she? She's not from Romania. She was a bit more stressed in her game.
100.
Yeah, it's great to see actually the players staying around and watching the action. Many of them supporting their compatriots and friends. There is a real sense
60.
of a darting community within the WDF system.
That is so true. Many players have come here really early, like Dieter Hedman. Arrived on Friday afternoon. She didn't play
60.
until, I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it certainly will light up this tournament, Dieter Hedman. She lights up any room she walks
60.
into.
Yeah, she was very philosophical talking to Lindsay earlier, and it was a lovely interview. Business on the mind of Veenstra, who is getting really close to the winning tape. Kadar's only got one leg in this match.
80.
Nothing has really gone his way.
Closing in.
54.
Sounded like Martin Tyler there. When you say the words closing in, I always think of Stan Collingwood closing in.
Richard, you require 147.
To win. Treble 17.
95. Laszlo, you require
Be
167.
some way to save the match. It will be some experience to look back on for Laszlo, something to build on for the future.
131.
But he could be shown the door by Veenstra, who comes in for
Richard,
52 in the match.
52.
Double 16.
Game,
And it's victory
shots,
for
and match.
Veenstra,
Richard
who cruises
Veenstra.
past Kadar.